thing, so slept like 9-10 hours, and then took a nap both yesterday and today. So just still trying to catch up on that sleep.
Yeah, so for me, it actually kind of worked out. I was supposed to have my brother in Colombia, and then he messaged me Sunday and said, "Hey, I'm going to go to Utah. I'm going to drive to Utah and look at a house." So he left Columbia, South Carolina, to drive to Utah to look at this big house that he's wanting to buy, and he wants me to move in there with him, but we'll see. And he was like, "Okay, the house is all to yourself," and I'm like, "Okay, well, let me check the front desk and see when I actually have to check out." So they didn't have me checking out till Tuesday morning, so I stayed in that hotel room. I turned off my phone entirely, and I think I woke up at like 2:45 in the afternoon. And then I happened to walk down the lobby at like 8, and I saw Josh Keck down there with his daughter, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do a show?" I'm like, "Not really, but all right, let's do it." But yeah, the voice is almost gone. Like I'm in my longest relationship of my life right now with this sickness that I got going on.
Yeah.
This has lasted longer than my marriage. I don't know what's going on with it, but I have different symptoms. I got the first day I had just a sore throat, and now I had a cough, and now like I'm losing my voice, and I got a little bit of drainage. So it's like I don't know if it's one continuous thing or if I'm just getting everything from anybody else. So I apologize if you guys shook my hand at Worlds. I mean, that's on you, and you guys got some sickness from it. But at the same time, if you gave it to me, how dare you?
Oh yeah, you're gonna turn it on them now? That's how you're gonna roll?
It's not me. It's never me.
Yeah, of course.
Although you blame me and Tina's
Yeah,
blaming me and somebody else blamed me, and I was like, "Oh, we didn't even interact."
Mm-hmm. Well, we were in a car together, so we did interact.
Yeah,
sir.
well, for one little trip, but I don't know. I think you were showing signs before that, but that takes me to the bragging segment. I forgot to mention it during the Stevie Awards. I want to give you credit, Mish, my fashion stylist. She took me to multiple stores, finally got a white blazer, and went into the Stevies looking fresh and clean. And I want to show some appreciation to Kyle Butler, who hooked it up with the YouTube superstar One Nito, and got the braids in there and the haircut. A little bit more of a price tag than I thought I wanted to spend, but
I heard.
you're only going to host the Stevies one time.
But yeah, I mean, you went for it. I don't think it was a regret, although I'm sure it wasn't very happy to the wallet. But
yeah, it's all fake right now. And whenever I actually do the budget here in a little bit, I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, that's a hurt." But yeah. I got upstaged by the cone, man. The cone at the end of the show is everybody's talking point. Like everyone's like, "We need more cone. The live feed would be a lot better with more cone." I'm like, "Come on now."
I don't know what happened there because it was only live on Facebook. Like it was no longer live on the other, like on ACL Cornhole TV, but Facebook just kept rolling, and it was a little behind the scene with the cone.
It's kind of funny because people kept asking, like, "Are you going to come back out and like make an appearance or say something?" Like everybody,
like an encore coming.
50 viewers watching this cone not move.
That tells you how bored we are in our lives.
All right, they just want more. What?
Yeah.
Anything special want to brag about before we do a little recap?
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird bragging session. So, the reason why I wasn't on the show 2 weeks ago is because unfortunately we lost my brother-in-law, and it was nothing that we expected anyone to jump in and do anything, because it's not like we were asking for help financially for like funeral costs or anything. But the cornhole community around our local area came together, and they're putting together a tournament on Sunday for my brother-in-law's 3 kids. So they're raising funds for them, which I just think is pretty amazing. And everyone's like, I'm going to donate a raffle prize. And Shelby, Trey Ryder's wife, was able to snag one of the boards with all the celebrity signatures to raffle off. And it's another like testament to the cornhole community, because we didn't ask for this. We didn't say, hey, we're trying to raise funds for his kids. Like they just stepped up and did it, and said, this is what we're doing, and everyone's wanting to help. So just a big bragging on the cornhole community, which I feel like we've bragged about more than anything on this show.
All the time. I mean, it's I say all the time, we have a saying here in St. Louis, it's more than a game, it's a family. And I mean, that's what happens. Whenever something goes bad, we all come together. I mean, I'll never forget when my buddies got into a car accident, like on a Friday. We had a tournament for him like that Saturday, and then Monday we handed him like $5,000, to help him recover medical bills and stuff. It's just the quick response from the cornhole community. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be a lot. Like, you don't have to throw out $1,000. Like, if you have 20,000 people throw out $1, that's huge. It goes a long way. And I think for the most part, the cornhole community gets it. But it looks like we are up and running on YouTube, so I got that good to go. What's up, Duncan, Clemmer, and Terry? I do want to do a real quick recap of the Stevies before we get our guests on. So what we got going on today, guys, we got our first partner reveal of the season. My boy, I'll mention Justin Duke here in a little bit. He's going to come on and reveal his partner. And then our special guest for today, I think he had the game of the week, Jake Brannon, fellow commentator on court number 4. He's got a lot going on, so we kind of want to touch base with him and get a recap of Worlds for him. But it was an honor for me to present the top amateur award to Braden Wilson. Obviously, you guys know, I believe, Mish, way back in New Mexico, I said, don't be surprised if we don't see Braden Wilson in ACL Pro. Yep. Congratulations to him. He earned it. Top spot for open points. The Road Traveler Award goes to Alec Ryan. And then, no surprise, the Iron Man, Chris Tornatolo, 3 years in a row.
Yep, he's going to keep it rolling.
Yeah, if anybody's got their eye on that prize, they got some work to do. Ashley Kearns, the Bag Tracker Award. And then we got some directors, Ashley Kearns, Jim and Wanda Swank, Kathy Rockwell, Brad Sebi, Sean Sabian, Amber Rogers. The game of the year ends up going to Tony Smith and Jake Trzynski against Mark Richards and Philip Lopez. I mean, that was, 50-some minutes on ESPN. That was amazing. That's when I was getting fed French fries from BJ Turner from Seaver in the background, and we just had a blast there. Shot of the year, cell phone coverage. I don't care. It was an amazing shot. Alex Hicks with the Penguin to win the game. The leadership award goes to Adrian Johnson. The breakout player of the year, rightfully so, goes to Jacob Gore. Rookie of the year, Justin Burton Jr. The Rockwell Award, this is where it got all emotional, Maudlin, and then Baldwin. And then the MVP goes to Tony Smith. And then I think the team of the year finished out was KB and Eddie, right?
Yes.
If there's any way they can take that from them. Cheyenne, I believe, got Woman of the Year. And then Man of the Year, did that go to Tony?
I think it did. Yep.
Good. Okay, cool. So, yeah, a lot of awards, a lot of fun times. Apologize for the rap if you guys didn't like it, but in the words of Michael Scott, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I tried.
Michael Scott. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back right after this.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome back, everyone. It is time to do our partner reveal. So we hope to bring you as many of these as we can in the off season. It's an exciting time. I know some people are still waiting to see, who might get on applications and different things like that. So these should be trickling in over the next several months. But Wally, why don't you intro in our player that we're going to be doing our partner reveal?
Yeah, real quick, one thing I forgot to mention about the Braggin segment before we do that is the gauntlet, again, did not disappoint. The amount of pros that stuck around to watch their friends try and compete and make it in, it was awesome. Seeing the support, the cheering, every shot, just people on pins and needles. One of my guys didn't have to go through that this year, thankfully. Justin Duke, let's bring him on, finished number 52 in the open standings. Justin Duke, after a rough year last year, had pro caliber talent, just had an unfortunate situation pop up, kind of another unexpected passing with his father there, but battled back, made it all the way through the open standings, gets in the pro division. What's up, Justin? Welcome in, brother.
Hey, what's up? Thank y'all for, getting me in here, and let's reveal my partner.
Yes, sir, man.
Before we reveal your partner, what made you choose this partner?
We have a lot of chemistry together. And, we would have been partners last year if it wasn't due to me losing my father while I was at Worlds. I think, I would have been in. I think I had the talent to. Anybody can make it through the qualifier, or not anybody can make it through the qualifier, but I just felt like last year was a really good year for me, and I had the talent to do it, and I think a lot of people knew that. But it was planned the whole year last year. It's just, God had different direction for me, and at that time I just had to get my mental game back, and I think this year will be a really good rookie season for me. Long-term goal, rookie of the year, stuff like that. But, I just want to have a good year, and I think I'm here where I belong, and I hope it shows in the next coming season.
All right. Well, without further ado, go ahead and tell us who it is.
So I think a lot of people know. Like I said, last year would have been a good year for us, but this year I'm going to be partner up with Josh Glover.
Josh Glover.
What up, brother?
What's going on?
Welcome in. Out there in Tennessee?
Nah, I'm Mississippi backwoods.
Mississippi backwoods. So I can see you outside enjoying some fresh air. Probably the only place you get service.
Not too fresh, just a little hot out here.
I'm pretty sure Josh is at a blind draw right now.
Oh yeah, grind never stops.
All right, so let's talk about it last year, Josh. Not the season you guys obviously wanted. Your pro doubles partner last year was Jay Corley. We got a chance to see him a little bit in the qualifier and blind draw stuff, primarily throwing BGs. And we know that you're a fly guy. Situation, an issue for you guys there is you guys finished 68, so just outside the top 50, or you just never guys clicked, or what's the reason for the switch?
Bag choices were really the biggest issue. I felt like I can't throw BGs very well. Like, just something with them. I don't know why. And he struggled with the fly bags. And I think out of all 4 nationals, I think we threw a different bag every national.
No, that's not ideal.
So it doesn't help out very well when you're trying to get used to something, which we couldn't.
Right.
I can't see your T-shirt on there, but is that a fly T-shirt?
Oh, no, this is my wife's. She started something called Walk of Shame Cornhole.
So you guys had a bag situation lined up with fly? I know you guys are real tight with Eric. Are you guys still kind of up in the air and seeing how things are going to go?
I guess I could chime in. I've got my fly stuff on now. We'll leave that all up to Eric for the upcoming season. I don't want to get into, speculations here and there, but, I don't have a contract. I know Josh does, so I'll just chime in on it. And it's just, we're going to throw whatever's best for us when the time comes to make a decision. And I know it's just my rookie year, and Josh has already been there for a year, so he knows a lot about, stuff like that. So I'll just whatever comes our way, we'll throw. And, I think we're 2 talented guys, so I think we could, have the right time with the right kind of bags. We can, make a top 50 push for this upcoming season.
Yeah, you still got plenty of time. You guys actually have more of an off season than we do. I got 2 weeks and I'm right back at it for Spencer's. Got some more work to do. But Josh, can you offer any advice for Justin? Coming off of your rookie season, that you made a mistake, or maybe you kind of learned your lesson from that? You hope he doesn't follow in your path that way.
I mean, only thing I say is don't take anybody lightly because you get your butt whipped quick.
That is
I mean,
fact.
yeah, I mean, I felt like
No.
this year the best national I threw at was Portland, and I went 0-2, and the worst one I threw, I went 3-2. So
Wow.
it just goes to show you it doesn't matter. You can win on any given day and lose on any given day, no matter what you throw and how you throw.
I was just gonna say, what do you think about the difference between the shootouts, like a 10-round limited versus a play to 21? Because I know a lot of times rookies struggle at first with those shootouts because they're not used to the 10 rounds.
Shootouts were actually probably some of my favorite game style. I love the 10, 12 round game style. I felt like the first shootout was Myrtle Beach. I think I finished, I think it was tied for third in my bracket. I was up on Philip Lopez. I was up 9 points in round 9 and give up like a 10 or something. And it was because that was my first shootout. I wasn't prepared. You need to play safe, conservative, don't chase stuff. And I didn't do that. And I got myself beat that game.
Yeah. I think that's going to be that's a big moneymaker, right? That shootout series. So getting good at those 10-round limited, 12-round limited is important.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's to me that game style or the round limited is just basically you just run bags and just hope you run them better than the next person.
Yeah, no doubt. I know Tony Smith always says that. He says, it's luck of the draw. So like I usually hit my air mails, but if I don't and it's 10 rounds, that's it. I lose, it is what it is.
So Justin, are you looking forward to that different type of formats? I mean, being on the outside and not a pro, that's something you didn't get to participate in. Are you looking forward to the shootouts, or what's something you're looking forward to the most for your rookie season?
So I think the number one thing that I'm looking forward to is teams event. I mean, I watched a lot of teams event this year, and I know Josh had a great time at it. And I hope I do get drafted, on a team. I don't care if it's a good team or not. I just think that's the number one, like the most fun that you can have all year is the team event.
That makes me so happy to hear that because we're really hoping players get on board with the team event. All right, unfortunately, we are out of time, guys. We thank you so much for joining us. We're going to hop to a commercial, and when we come back, we'll bring on our next guest. But thanks so much for coming on.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. See y'all.
Good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. It is time to bring on our next guest. We are going to bring on Jake Brannon to join us. If you don't know Jake, he is Court 4. If you're watching the live feeds, Court 4 with Allison, and also played a lot of cornhole at Worlds, went through the gauntlet, had a pretty incredible game that I know was a heartbreak for you, but put on a show for everybody watching. So welcome, Jake, to the show.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. Excited to be here. What's going on?
Oh, man.
Just winging it, trying to survive another day, man.
I feel you on that one.
All right, Jake. So the first
viewers in YouTube, you guys want to ask any questions? Feel free to hop on in. Sorry, Misha.
Oh, it's okay. But we're going to start off with highlights. So we're going to look at some highlights together. And then after the highlights, we'll take a break. And then we'll come back. And if anybody has questions for Jake, we will get them answered at that time. But first, let's get into the highlights from Worlds. Here we go.
Full disclosure, have no idea what we got here. We got about 24 minutes of highlights.
We're about to find out.
So I figured we'd chop it up into 8s and then kind of see what we got there. So we got some decent shots. This looks like this is from the Tournament of Champions, maybe. This is Sueda's taking on Mark and Phil. What do you – I mean, we're kind of going to spoil the lead here a little bit. Jimmy Humans and I are going to do a show right after this where we're going to break up partnerships. And we had a partner review right there with Justin and Josh. But what do you think about the boys sticking together there, Mark and Phil? It's a huge topic right now on Facebook and the internet.
I think they are.
I don't see why they would break up. I mean, they're right. Yeah. But you never know.
They're top 5, top 10 team in the country. I mean, it'd be silly to break up. But with that being said, with all these top free agents, I mean, everybody would dream to be able to play with Mark Richards.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, so the money's not going to lie. Jamie, possible pairing right here on the screen. Just saying.
Right there. Boom, boom.
Yeah. See, Jamie.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know how they would get well together because I mean, like Mark is, methodic and slow, and like Harbaugh's going to take some risks. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how they would mesh as far as on the boards. Great shots, absolutely.
You also have to think the two alphas, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't always
awkward timeouts right here.
Awkward time. Oh, that's right. He was trying to figure out if he had a timeout.
Yeah, Devin was trying to talk me like, "Hey, there's no way he's scoring here," and Mark was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a timeout right now and see how to score." But it was a pretty good match. Not a bad season. Congratulations needs to be said there to Vincent Frisch as well, watching his ticket as a pro next season, making it out of the PDC. So
I wonder who he's going to partner with. I'm very curious.
Yeah, that's something to say as well for the PDC. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the PDC next year, but young players, it is possible to come out of the PDC and earn a pro spot that way.
Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed. They had advanced and PDC together in singles. Vincent Frisch was the only PDC player to win any of the singles brackets.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big shot right there for the win there from Mark.
Crazy.
Yeah, we saw a big, range of talent this last Open. I mean, going all the way from the USA Cornhole, World Championship, sorry. USA Cornhole, singles, doubles, seniors, into the Open Teams event. I didn't get a chance to broadcast that, but Jake, you participated in that Open Teams event, man. How much fun was that?
Oh, dude, it was an absolute blast. Being able to play on a team with the likes of Tony Smith and Hunter Thorne. I mean, it was awesome. Like going into the rounders, we had lost our first game, and I just it was a little piece of the back of my head. I was like, man, this is gonna stink. We're gonna suck. And then I don't think we lost another game until like midway through the bracket. But it was a really fun time. Like all 8 of us meshed really well together. It was a lot of fun.
From Fisher. I don't even know if I remember that one. Did you see that?
That was nasty. Yeah.
Well,
whoa. What'd you do, Wally?
There it is. I want to see it again. I don't understand how it happened. Got one underneath, one on top, slick side.
I don't know.
Around the
I don't know how it doesn't go.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Wow. Hear the dog? I'm sitting upstairs. It's amazing. Having such a great time.
Yeah, I hear the dog.
Dog thought it was a good shot too.
Well, the thing that worries me is that if your dog starts barking, my dogs are going to hear it start barking, and it'll be just chaos.
I mean, I can go get my dog from upstairs too.
Mine are fast asleep at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, it's always nice, like when you come home from Worlds and you're like just absolutely exhausted, and then strange dog in a living room. I guess I'll have to take care of this thing. With no messages, no one told me anything about it. So
you just have a random dog, you don't know whose it is?
I mean, that's my sister's dog, but I didn't know it was going to be here when I got home.
Huh.
And then nice collect. I mean, Jamie Graham was on one.
Jamie Graham was on one.
Absolutely.
The path that Jamie Graham went through on our court in singles to get all the way to that finals.
Dude, insane.
Ridiculous. All right, so this might be qualifier.
This is
for
qualifiers.
Yep.
Okay, PJ Nutt, a name I think we'll see next year in the pro division. I'm thinking Cedro and PJ make a good team. They throw together quite a bit.
You know, I've heard Isidro was going to retire the past like 5 seasons, and then he keeps coming back.
He just keeps coming back.
Brian Lee, ACL pro wannabe right there. We make fun of him all the time. Lives and dies by the airmail, but right now he's dying by a good
That
shot
was
from the other
nice.
side.
Who's that guy on the right?
Yeah, who is that guy?
ACL
heard
pro
of
Trevor Brooks.
Yep, he's a pro.
Yep.
He was on one yesterday too.
Yeah.
Sunday.
You got. I mean, there's no bigger cheerleader for Jamie Graham. Big shot on the other side.
Yeah.
No bigger cheerleader for Jamie Graham than Trevor Brooks. It's good for the
Yeah.
game. And then whenever you get Berkeley Perry doing the same thing for Trevor on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. So hopefully it'll be a fun season. Ryan Trader. That's just a little practice round there. Ryan Trader showing Tanner what's up.
My guy Angel Camarena.
Yeah. I love
some
people in
revenge.
the crowd rocking the halos. They even brought me one
They
over
were-
at one point.
They're
Yeah.
pretty cool.
The halos were a thing. I saw it like randomly in the building. I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense. Duh. Angel fans.
Oh, here we go, Jake.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. Here he is.
I don't remember what this was. That was just an airmail.
Oh,
that was
it was
warm up.
good.
That was a practice round.
It was not just an airmail drag.
Did you get a chance to go back and watch this video?
I tried to a little bit. It was hard. I watched
Yeah.
some of the. I watched some of the rounds.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of my advanced singles matches on Saturday. But yeah, it was a. I'll probably get around to watching it eventually, but
I
it's
gotta
still an open wound.
That was the ugliest airmail. I had a great call there. I
Yeah.
think Sean Latham was like, it's a bunk bed. I was like, there's not much room for activities. And then boom, Ben hits the backside right here.
I cannot believe he hit
Crushes the
that.
Dreams.
See, like in my head when I was sitting in that crouch, I was like, man, what am I gonna do when he misses this? And I win the game. Like, am I gonna yell and scream? And then he hit it. I was like, shoot.
Just thinking of your victory.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody saw him hitting that one.
No.
Is this his doubles, I guess? There's a singles action.
Yeah, Josh Holland was actually much better at Worlds than he was pretty much all season.
Yeah, and that was the thing is like whenever Mark Richards lost to Samantha Finley. By the way, shout out to Samantha Finley. I think the upset of the tournament, taking out Mark Richards and the nail biter. And then once that bracket opened up, I kind of felt like Josh Holland had that bracket to lose.
Yeah.
And then of course Jamie Graham decided to come out of nowhere and just destroy everybody.
Crushing dreams.
Yeah.
Ollie, you lied about the time of this. Look how much time is left. We don't have this much time.
We're good, Mish. We're good. I would never
Yeah.
lie to you.
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to already be moving on to the commercial. And look at how much time is left.
Uh-oh.
There's 1 more minute left of this, but if you want to go to commercial, we can.
That's not 1 minute.
Mish, I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing.
Jake, do you see what I'm seeing?
I don't really see anything. I just see the clips rolling. I don't see a timer or nothing.
This is
All right,
7.5
before
minutes.
Before we go to break, we got some people in the YouTube chat, guys. We're gonna take a break, and we come back. We will get to your questions. We're gonna have some fun with Jake, interview him, ask some questions about.
Let's go. Ask me some questions in the chat, y'all. Let's go.
Yeah. So basically, there's like a big black spot here in the middle niche that separates the first part to the second part. So when we get to that black part, we're done, which is going to happen here in like 40 some seconds or whatever. But
I get it.
before we
Okay.
do that, did you see Trey's Slack message?
Slack
Yeah.
message?
Yeah, the new or a big announcement that just happened, reaching 1 million followers across all social media platforms today.
Wow.
Wow.
American Cornhole League. A million's a lot.
Millions a
lot of
lot.
people.
That is a lot. That was a great bag by Fisher.
Yeah, I was actually kind of happy that it came down to these two. I mean, or all the teams in doubles. It basically the cream rose to the top. We had the ones versus the twos.
Yep.
It worked out how it was supposed to work out. A little coin slot action there.
Yeah, I'd say kind of there, yeah. Oh,
The thing with bar soaps is I never know what happens. I just kind of have to
Bar
watch.
soap's always it's always like bewildering. You're like, what happened? Where's the bag go?
That's them on the camera. Oh, I thought
Oh.
the birds were going to fall there in the background. I think this is the last shot.
Great bag by Gavin. Oh, there it is. All
See?
right. Wally didn't lie. I don't know what to say. Oh, do we both just press at the same time? Okay, we got to go to commercial, you guys. We'll come back with more with Jake right after this. All right, we are back. And Jake,
Hi, Jake.
are you there? Why is it black? It's a black box.
That's live programming right there.
Are you there, Jake? Are you? No, he
There
gone.
you
He
go.
gone. See ya. He said, "You know what? I'm good for about 8 to 10 minutes, and after that, I'm checking out."
Got Doug Coombs in the YouTube chat. His first time having Chick-fil-A and Dunkin' Donuts this weekend, Mish.
Wow.
I don't know.
He said he had
Big steps over here in America.
There we go. What up, Jake? Welcome
Can you
back.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's weird because I cannot hear y'all
Oh,
Oh,
man.
at
well.
all.
What changed in that commercial
on.
break? Crazy. Well,
We can hear you without the
I
Bluetooth.
don't know what happened.
can you hear us?
Let me. Oh,
Oh, gotta love live
Nice.
podcasts.
Duncan Clemmer has a question that I don't know, Mish, maybe you could answer. Why does Jake's dad look like Colonel Sanders?
Oh, I was not aware. I need to see a picture now.
Yeah, his dad looks pretty much, the looks like the professor from, what was that movie? Billy Mack?
hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Waterboy.
Waterboy?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Okay. I still haven't seen his dad, so I can't, agree or disagree. But that's an interesting comparison there, I must say. I don't know how to think about that.
Says he's got his microphone muted right now. I'm not sure if he's doing this or not. But
I
I
don't
think
know.
he's struggling. But do you want to skip to the game, or what do you want to do, Mish?
Sure. All right, we'll let him figure that out. All right, so first thing we go through is the top floor bagger and four bagger of the week. I feel like mine's a little bit mean, so I apologize in advance, but the floor bagger I'm giving to Tony Smith? What is going on? Why can't he get that finish? Like, I feel for him because, I mean, look, he can't be too upset with me. He's the number one
Hello?
player in the world. So yeah,
Nope.
you got us. Nope.
No, I'm gonna text him and tell him to just pull him to you.
Yeah. So that's my floor bagger, and then
Can y'all hear me?
yeah. Yes.
I can't hear you at all.
Don't know.
Yeah, it's that Bluetooth, man. Turn that Bluetooth off.
That Bluetooth.
I can't hear
But
you
yeah,
at all.
I talked to Tony Smith. I mean, we saw his post.
Well, I
on
guess we'll do it on
Facebook.
the
He was
delay,
just
'cause-
really upset with the fast boards. And I talked to Kingsbury afterwards, and Kingsbury was like, "Yeah, the boards are like really, really fast."
Yeah.
And he wanted to switch bags actually, but then he decided, I beat Tony Smith with these bags, and I was throwing really well. I'm going to keep them there. But Jamie Graham had, I think, the right bags for the board conditions that were going on there. Not to mention,
It's for sticky. Yeah, that's what Gavin said, and that's
Jamie
that's
Graham
my
had, I think, the right bags.
floor bagger of the week is Jamie Graham, obviously, because he showed up and he got the win, and it was very cool to see. Very well deserved, but that's my floor bagger and my four bagger of the week. You got yours?
My floor bagger of the week is everyone getting sick. Again, we don't know whose fault it is. Could be my fault. Could be somebody else's fault. But like I said, I've been dealing with something for 4 weeks now. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I tried. I gave it my all. I feel like toughing through it was the better option rather than calling in sick for 9 days, the most important week of the season.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really hard to kind of satisfy the popularity with people without being rude and be like, "Oh no, I'm sick," and just shunning them away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I try to handle my best. So again, I apologize if I got anybody sick. My top four bagger is the juniors division. I think that it evened itself out the way it should be, with the exception of one player, and that's Jaden Ellis. Don't know what's going to happen. I assume he'll take a PDC contract and get in. But just absolute dominance from the juniors division, and Sammy Soto with his back against the wall, coming all the way back and then beating Ryan Trader, who already had a spot locked up to earn his pro spot. I remember talking to Trey. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, it's worst case scenario. Sammy Soto wins this, and we got to have maybe 9 juniors."
Guess what?
And like we're like, "Oh, Ryan Trader's in the lead. It should work itself out." And then Sammy Soto came back and won that one, earned the juniors division. So I think it worked out pretty well.
We get 9.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we get 9. And I'm not sure if it's. Yeah, I think we'll get 9 is the way it's set up. So I think you're right.
Yep. All right. We have our send it or board it and would you rather, but we're going to take a commercial break and come back with those right after this. All right. We are going to continue to go through our games and hoping that Jake can figure out his sound in the meantime, but we will move through the next one. This games and send it or board it. Oh, we got an echo, people. There we go. All right. So send it or board it. Okay, Wally, would you send this or would you board it? You have not your best performance the entire season, but you win the world championships.
So send it is yes, I want that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sending that all day. I don't care if I win the tournament coming out as a 1 seed or if I win it coming out as a 64 seed. I just want the dub when it matters. And if I only got one trophy on my wall and it's the big one, perfectly fine with that.
Okay. I feel like Jamie Graham would agree, but Jamie Graham has also had amazing seasons too to kind of back that up, right? So yeah, I don't know. I just wonder because remember, you have to think, okay, you don't know you're going to win the world championships, right? So the whole season, you're just getting annihilated by all the analysts and everybody. Like, man, this guy's really sucking this season.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of all bashing. I mean, how many months was that with Jamie? 8 months?
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We'll try Jake one more time, see if he's there.
Okay. All right, let's see. Jake,
Let's try
are you
Jake.
there? Jake?
How's it going? Is it
Can
working?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you. Yay!
Oh my gosh. That was
Okay,
weird.
wait. I'm going to ask you the same question, Jake. So would you send this or would you board it? You have not your best performance the entire season, but you win the world championship.
That's a tough one, man. I think I would send it just because a world championship is just so prestigious. It's so cool, and it's like what you work up towards at the end of the season. Like playing international, winning a national is cool, but like the world championship is what it all culminates with. So I think I'd have to send that.
Well,
Okay.
look how amazing the story Rudy is, right? like Rudy,
That's true.
Rudy didn't do much at all, and then all of a sudden you got what, one tackle or something like that, or a sack. I mean, it's like I don't care if I ride the bench the entire football season, and then hey, everybody's injured, you're our last choice, and I catch the game-winning touchdown. Like I mean, that for me is that's gonna be rewound and replayed forever.
That's true. That's true. I was saying, though, the negative of it and the reason why somebody might go towards abort it, and if you're listening with us, feel free to write in the chat, send it or board it, is because you don't know you're going to win the world championship, right? So, like, the whole season, you have to deal with everybody being like, man, this guy's really sucking.
Well, not only that, but you got to look at the sponsorship aspect of it, too, where it's kind of like, okay, you got absolutely zero exposure because you didn't make any live feeds or any deep runs in the season. And then it's like, okay, which was the fluke? Was the entire season the fluke, or was this one tournament the fluke?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys both send it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with you and send it as well. All right, Wally, you have a send it or board it for us?
I actually don't have a senator boarded. Jake, you got anything?
Are you gonna put him on the spot?
I got a would you rather though for Jake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather?
All right, I have one as well, but you go first.
All right, so Jake, would you rather be a commentator for the ACL for the entire season with one ESPN broadcast at the World Championships, or be a pro player for one season with Tony Smith as your partner?
Wow, man, that's tough. I think I still have to go the commentator route, man. I have not had more fun with cornhole at all until this season. Being able to travel and go to all these different places, but also be able to like work, sit, and watch the best players in the world compete is just something that I find so fascinating and so cool. And then being able to do that on ESPN too, if like in the hypothetical sense, sounds pretty sick. Tony Smith is cool, and don't get me wrong, I like Tony, but being able to get paid to do all that and be able to talk about cornhole is a pretty awesome job.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Obviously, that's the route I chose because we all know how close I was to making pro. I had to make a big sacrifice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a solid 5.5, 6 PPR. I'm not even close, but that's okay. All right, ready for my would you rather?
Ready.
All right. I thought a lot about this throughout the day on Sunday. Would you rather be the 9 a.m. group or the 2 p.m. group on the pro qualifiers? The 9 a.m., you got to wake up early, but you got that big old gap in between your play and the bracket. The 2 p.m., you get to sleep in, but then you got to just go keep playing all the way through till what time did it end? Like midnight?
I think I midnight, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had the privilege of being in the 2 p.m. group, and I would not want it any other way.
Okay.
I get to sleep in, so I get to catch up on my sleep. Especially because I was in the 9 a.m. group for the advanced singles, so I'm
Okay.
flip flop. So I got to be able to sleep in, and then once I went 4-0 in the first group, so being able to just roll right into that, stay hot and going into the second group, I think helped out a lot. And had I had a long break like the people in the first group did, I'm not sure if I would have been in the same position that I was.
Okay, because my thought was if I'm the 9 a.m. group, I'm napping before bracket, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Wally, what do you think?
So I was actually in the 9 a.m. group last year. So
Okay.
I have the other end of this, and I got to say it sucked. You're so antsy and so anxious the night before. You're just ready to get at it. You really don't have much sleep. You get the alarm at 6:57, 6:58, 6:59. Hit the snooze all you want. It doesn't matter. You can wake up an hour early, wake up 10 minutes early. You're just not prepared for that first bag. And then my first match was against a pro, and it took me about 5 or 6 rounds to get into it. Luckily, I came back and won that one. But then just the board conditions started to change already. By the bodies coming in there, the people start throwing on the boards. The board's condition changed by the time I got to round number 3. And I felt like I was tired. I lost a little bit of focus. I lost my match, and then next thing I know, I was eliminated. And like I think a part of it was because I lost my concentration. I'm looking around for like my friends. I talked about this before. I played Kevin Whitaker, and like all the South Carolina people were just cheering for him like crazy. You know what I mean? And I'm looking around, but all my people, they don't come in until 2:00. So like the St. Louis folk, they weren't there yet.
Yeah.
But not only that, but yeah, the board conditions would change entirely. I think from the 9 a.m. finish all the way until the bracket play at the end. So.
All right.
I will say the one downside to having the afternoon session is I had lunch at about 12:00, and I did not eat again until I got back to my hotel room at about 12:45 in the morning.
Crazy.
About 12 and a half hours later, which stunk. But
yes, that's not ideal.
No.
Although that does prepare you for pro because that's what most pros do on a weekend, which is horrible, but that is the reality of what they do because they like don't want to mess with anything. They're like, I'm playing hot. I'm just gonna roll through it. Like, never forget Alex Rawls when he won singles and he looked at me and said, I haven't had water in like 10 hours because he just was like playing well and didn't want to do anything to change anything. And I'm like, this is not healthy.
Well, did you talk to Jamie Graham? I think he only got 4 hours of sleep before singles.
Wow. No, I didn't. I didn't ask him how to sleep. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, man.
One question in the chat here says the foot foul rules are in 2024 is a hot topic on YouTube chat over the South Carolina ACL streams. What are your current opinions on that, Jake? I know you kind of do the same thing I do whenever you have those powerful shots. You step over. I mean,
my normal shot, like my normal throw, I don't do it. But when I need to get a little extra push on that push through, I will step over. So I am a fan of the step over rule to some extent. There was.
You're a fan of keeping it the way it is.
I like keeping it the way it is,
okay.
But I also like the idea of enforcing it more than it has been. There was a game in the we like Core 4 broadcasted the finals of advanced singles. That's the afternoon session, final 8, and we had Vincent Frisch in it, and he would not only step over with both feet, but he would also go into his opponent's lane every other bag, or at least every third bag. And some people in the comments started noticing it. While nobody in the crowd or his opponent at the time noticed it, people in the comments starting to get weary of it. And I feel like something to that magnitude should be outlawed, or at least have a rule enforced with that more efficiently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be hard because the players in general tend to be like, whatever, I'm not going to ruffle any feathers or raise any concern. Like, I think it was, I don't remember who Mark Richards was playing, but Mark is like, do I have any timeouts left? And they're like, doesn't matter, just go take one. Like, nobody really wants to enforce rules. Although I'm sure they'd appreciate rules being enforced. Just like if we had.
Jamie, I think.
What was that?
I think it might have been Jamie.
Was it Jamie? Okay. So like if we had officials in every court, obviously players wouldn't have to enforce rules. There'd be an official there, but obviously that's a huge budget that we would have to discuss if is that where people want the money to go, is to officials on every court. That cuts into payouts, right? So I don't really see that happening. And then it's the next year, which means it's up to you as a player to enforce rules, and nobody really wants to be that person. Like snitches get stitches or whatever, that mentality.
Yeah, as a commentator, it always thinks, because anytime, like I have Jamie Graham on my broadcast all the time, and he always looks over at us and like, how many timeouts do I have? And I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not keeping track of your timeouts.
I'm not keeping count of your timeouts. Yeah. Although I do think on the broadcast we need a timeout counter. I think it's like a basic thing, right?
Yeah.
Like every sport has that.
Stay tuned. We got some stuff coming.
I also like the introduction of the shot clock on the broadcast, because that was like it. Like, you don't like it? No.
No.
What? Why?
Because there's enough keyboard warriors out there complaining about stupid stuff anyway. The last thing I want to do is give them validation.
Oh God.
They're pretty good at enforcing it, though.
But also, you have to think about it this way. I'll play the devil's advocate. Had we not introduced those shot clocks, we never would have gotten that shot of the year from Philip Lopez Jr.
No.
We never would have gotten it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is, it's just all going to be about how. Like, how do we integrate everything that we want to do? I don't think it's next year, although there are talks and discussions and possibilities. But, I mean, like, there's a lot of things that need to happen just to make it work the way it's supposed to work. Not just from a visual standpoint, just like you said, an enforcement thing as well. I mean, we saw the enforcement of Fisher Hamilton stepping over in South Dakota. It raised a lot of red flags and a lot of questions. And then at the World Championships alone, I want to say I saw it like 12 times, not enforced one single time. So the ACL knows, they agree, we got to do better on this. We just got to figure out how. How do we make it happen? I mean, an open is one thing, but 132 courts at Worlds with the biggest prize package on the line, I mean, it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. My question is obviously piggybacking off of what Wally said, but, the big question for you is, are you going to go the commentator's route, or are you going to go the pro route? You said that you really enjoy commentating, but if it meant that at our events you literally couldn't compete, like, would that be a deal breaker for you?
There's a lot of things that are still up in the air, because there's still a possibility that I could becoming a full-time broadcaster, but we don't know that yet. There's a chance that I could still compete. I could compete in our conference qualifier in the next couple of weeks. I may do that. A lot of my friends and like locally want me to submit an application. I don't really know if I'm going to do that yet. There are a lot of things that are up in the air, but if I had to come down to it, broadcasting is a lot more fun for me, and it's what I went to college to do.
Right.
I love playing, and I'm so competitive of a player. But you have to like sit down one day and realize that what is going to benefit me more in the future, getting like a full-time career, and commentating broadcasting is absolutely the way to go when it comes to that. So that's where I'm at right now.
And then commentating on a live stream court is totally different than broadcasting, right, in terms of audiences. So this is something that we were talking about with Jacob Schrantz, who came on to Court 3, because he's also going to school for broadcasting. Yeah. And so he's trying to do what you would do on a play-by-play on ESPN, but I'm like, but this is different. These are hardcore cornhole fans that this is not the person randomly looking on TV and going, oh, look, cornhole, I'll stop for a second, to where they're going to appreciate when Jeff McCarricker repeats for the 40th time that this player played baseball in college, right? But like our audience is like annoyed. Like, come on, we know. Like, stop teaching us how to play the game. So like, what do you think about the difference in the two?
No, I mean, I think they're both essential to grow into the sport of cornhole, because you need your Jeff McCarrickers who describe and introduce the game. Because if you're like flipping through channels one day and you see cornhole, let's tune in, you can listen to Jeff and realize and like understand what's going on. But then you also need the analytical side of things, like what Trey does and what Anthony does, and that's slowly what I've learned as I've gotten into the cornhole commentary. Because that, like, I was just like Jacob when I was going to college. Like, I want to be a sports broadcaster. I want to be like the next Joe Buck or the next Matt Baskers or whatever you like, no matter what sport it was. But as I've gotten into the cornhole commentary, cornhole broadcasting, I've realized that I really like the analytical side of things. I like what Trey talks about. I like what Anthony talks about when it comes to breaking down the game of cornhole for the more advanced, the more experienced players who watch. So if I can have any sort of experience doing that in the game of cornhole, I would absolutely take that and run with it. So, yeah, I mean, both sides are really essential because you need the basics, but you also need all the little details for the people who already know how to play cornhole and all that stuff.
Yep. The color. You like the color.
Yeah. I like both. I want to be a play-by-play guy, but I also wouldn't mind diving into the analytical and the color stuff as well. Yeah.
That's pretty much where Wally sits.
Another hybrid. That's my problem right now. Is I don't know where everyone.
That's my only problem. I don't know what road I want to take because I want to be play-by-play, but I also want to have a little teleprompter. Not a teleprompter, a thing that I can draw on.
Telestrator.
I have it on court 2. Corey has it on court 2. Did you get to use it when you were there?
Accidentally, yeah.
Messed up my close shot.
There was a piece of the screen was sitting in front of me, and there was a piece of dust on it. So I went to go use my finger to wipe it off, and I accidentally drew a line. I was like, oh shoot. But so then I looked over on Corey's thing, and I didn't see it. I was like, okay, cool. It must not have been there. But then apparently people went nuts because it was on there for the entire broadcast, and I had no idea. So that was pretty funny for me.
Yeah, that was Miranda Coy's shot. She hit that big push.
That's amazing.
Little line right there, and we're all like, what is going on?
Yeah, so for those watching, you go back and watch that Miranda Coy shot, you're going to see a little line. I did that. That's all me, baby.
So
there's my mark.
Quick question. Does it bother you, though, that if you become a commentator that I'm going to be your boss? I mean,
wow.
I get to boss you around, and it's got to sting you a little bit that you can't beat your boss at cornhole. But we're out of time, though, Mish. We're out of time. We're just going to have to end the show.
Oh, you're just going to cut no response allowed.
Yeah, that would be the only problem I have is not being able to play in cornhole because, I definitely couldn't. I'm too competitive to let you win, but I don't know you have what it takes to beat me right now, Wild. I'm telling you.
Dude, I don't know how you beat all those other guys, and I beat you every time, so that was crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Hierarchy, you should be the pro then, right?
Exactly. All right, guys, we are out of time. Jake, it's been awesome having you on. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you at the next event coming up.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. I don't know what happened. It made me so
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, no worries. That's live, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys all next time.